What's going on, y'all? My name is Christopher Life Willers, and this is the Stay Free Show. This is a place and a time where I get to get up here every single day and I talk about something that impacted me, something that impacted what data suggests one out of every two people in this country, whether indirectly or directly, and that's prison, it's incarceration. I also talk about mental health, addiction, and a wide variety of other topics. And typically, Fridays is my favorite because I get to have fellow advocates, storytellers, all types of leaders, people that are breaking ceilings up on a platform. And today, I got a good brother up here. Um, Cross paths, got some similar, similar territory, some overlap, so I won't get into the introduction. I'm actually going to go ahead and give the brother an opportunity to introduce himself, man. Please go ahead and let the world know who you are, good brother.
Hey there, I'm Quadaire Patterson. Our simulators crossed. We did some time, man. We did time. I did 16 years in Department of Corrections in Virginia. Uh, had a thick journey full of, I, I would say, spiritual awakenings.
That's a word right there. He said a thick.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
exactly what you're saying, man.
revelations.
Yeah,
You
shout out
know,
to the VA crew, man. Everybody that made it out, man.
absolutely. Two up, two down.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you know. Uh, advocacy is what I'm doing now. But if we take a look back, man, over a decade, I did 16 years, and
Yeah.
I started at bid when I was 19.
From what year to what year? I was locked up at 19. I did 16 years, 11 months.
The funny thing about my detainment for real. I think the most ironic thing is I was detained on the day that President Obama got elected. You
Wow.
know, yeah,
Wow.
I actually watched the first black president getting elected.
Wow.
Well, I watched the celebration, and they were shutting the gates behind me in the first pod I ever been, in the first pod I
Wow.
ever been in jail. So,
I remember watching it. I was at Sussex too. I think
mm,
me and Poetic weren't in the cell, but no, I was at Sussex too, though. I remember the exact place, all that, man. So
yeah,
16 years in VA in the prison system. Um, you used the word you leaned into the fact it was a journey, man. What was the journey of long-term incarceration for you, man? 16 years, that's over a decade and a half. What was it for you?
no.
What was the impact of it all?
Uh,
Or what would you tell people if you were trying to paint a picture about it?
I, without giving it any extra glamorization or
Of course.
any type of hyperbole. I just
Right.
wanted to get a feel for it. I feel like it was the classic kung fu tale. You know what I mean? Movies that start off with like just a youngin who's he's kind of lost. You know what I mean? Uh, then he goes through some type of event, and that's where he gains this immense sense for justice for real. It's his sense of justice, whether it translate into something that's a little more focal, like a personal sense of revenge. Somebody come killed my family, so he's
Right.
you know just to put it back in context. But you know, uh, my journey, when I look back at it, I, being free now, I look at him. I'm real thankful for the full circle moments. You know, uh, I fit the statistic for real. When I look back at it, I fit the statistic. Single black mother, multiple kids,
Okay.
no real stability of her own. My mother, she had me and my older brother. She was, barely an adult. So,
Yeah.
I came up in that household. Um, I came up, I came up like that. It was a little
Where are you
unstable.
from, if you don't mind me asking? Are you originally VA or are you
Yeah, I'm actually from the beach, man. And for
You from
people
the
who ain't
beach?
local out Virginia, I'm from Virginia Beach. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
from
No, it
Virginia
goes
Beach.
down in the beach, man. Plaza. Hey, look, I didn't. Uh, I'm from Chicago, right? So when I
True.
come to VA, you would
Mhm.
hear about certain spots, and Virginia Beach was always known as like, yo, you go down there, go to the beach, chill. If for out of towners. And
Yeah,
then when I got in the system, I was like, oh, these dudes is crazy.
man.
Yeah, I say, I'm like, why is everybody from Virginia Beach got numbers like it's a beautiful city, it's a beach, but I kind of want to dive into that. What is it? What is it? Just
I, you know, uh, if we look at the current condition of things and who's been in power and who's been running the town, who's been running the city, who's been running the world,
yeah,
um, without forming too many connections. uh, Virginia Beach, people don't really know that Virginia Beach is the home of the 700 Club. You know what I'm
okay,
saying? Like Regency and like for real, it's a lot of old evangelical money there.
had no
You
idea.
know, yeah. You know, I would say, living in Virginia Beach, which I didn't return. I was born in Virginia Beach General, but I didn't return to Virginia Beach to live until, I did probably about 6 months. Went to go
Okay,
say, yeah, I went to go stay with my grandmother who had my other two brothers.
yeah,
I wanted to stay with them around the age of about 8 years old. So I touched down Virginia Beach for 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 a stint. Um, my mother, the struggle's real. My mother got her feet together. She got her feet under her, and she came to get her kids.
mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is, my mother actually was a
Shout out to
correctional
mom
officer. She
for
was
real.
actually a correctional officer in Nashville, Tennessee. Yeah. Back when CCA was a thing. I don't know if CCA is a thing now, but CCA is one of
Right.
the first, private prison situations.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, NGO, we all,
Right.
but she got her feet under her, came and get her kids. So we moved out to Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
Yeah, from there we took some tracks around, and I ain't end up back up in Virginia Beach until I was 14 and ready to go to high school.
Yeah.
So but I take trips back and forth all the time. That's where my grandmother stayed.
Yeah.
Uh,
Virginia's one of those places a lot of people don't think. I think I took it for granted. I was one of those people. I came from a quote unquote bigger city, Chicago, and I remember my grandmother told me when I got there, she was like, "This isn't the city, but you got to watch out."
hmm,
But I was out there in Fredericksburg. I was up there in Northern VA, right? So it's different. VA's got like, to me, three different cultures, if not four. It's just depending on where you are in the state.
you
Um,
say 3 or 4.
you about
I'm
to
from the
say like
seven cities,
20.
bro. I'm about to say I'm from the 7 cities,
Just
right?
in the seven, it's each one. Norfolk is different. I ain't gonna lie.
I was about to
Yeah,
say
yeah,
I was
yeah,
a stone throw away from Norfolk.
yeah,
You know what I
and
mean? A
totally
stone
different.
throw. Yeah,
Totally,
totally different.
it's crazy how it's just literally an invincible line, but that much of a shift. You know what I'm saying? In culture, lingo, etc. That's crazy.
Hey,
Um, so
firm believer in the
VA.
power of symbolism.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Virginia's got a lot of deep rooted stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of old money out there. You was starting to get on that. It's the last Confederate South, or what was it? The
Ooh.
capital of the Confederate South. Yeah, all that stuff, man. Yeah, yeah. But anyways,
yeah,
it's just history, man. It's just history. But um, so
learn it.
w- yeah, you got to learn it. I didn't learn until I went to prison.
Hmm,
I told somebody like I was a book smart guy.
hmm.
I went to the Air Force and all that. Like I did well book smart, but I had no idea what life was about till I went to prison. Had no idea. I didn't know who I really was. Did you have a similar
Uh,
journey like that, or because you alluded to the kung fu movie type?
we have plenty parallels. You even spoke on like the military. You even spoke on the military. I never made it in the military, but I took the ASVAB before.
Word.
And that's another important. I'm an advocate, so I'm always trying to think of initiatives. But I really believe that. being able to detour into the military would have kept me out of prison, you know.
Yeah.
But uh self-realization through incarceration, I don't think it's an uncommon thing.
Mm.
Uh I think I came up in a particular time in a particular place where it's like we were very multicultural.
Hmm.
So the trying to identify in the streets amongst my friends, I ran around for real with all types of kids. Some of my best friends were Filipino, Korean, you know. Everybody ran out. We stayed in townhouses. All the kids was just on the block. Lindor Road. Shout out to Lindor Road too. But we was just out on the block, man. In the country where my great grandma stayed out Elizabeth City, where I stayed for a
Hmm.
bit, everybody it was more like family. Everybody was family. And you get to see a lot of your you get to have a lot of cultural identity that way. But
Yeah.
to realize like your racial identity, I think you know through being displaced, um, with my living situation as a youngin, I've seen the suburbs, I've seen the hoods, I've seen middle class. I've seen trailer
Right.
parks. I stayed in trailer parks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I lived in a lot of places when I was a kid.
You got to
So I
expose it.
seen,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think that's real important too. Being able exposure, cultural exposure.
Yeah.
But you know, like I got to see all these things. Every time I went to the hood, it was a bunch of people that was my color. It was a bunch of people that was my color. Every time I was in the suburbs, the disparities changed a bit.
Right.
Um, like coming up like that, I think can give you a sense that social responsibility doesn't exist. Like
I
people
agree
put
with that.
themselves in those places, and you start trying to generalize people's situation. You're a kid. You start generalizing people's situation. Uh, you know, it wasn't until I realized how deep racism was till I understood that it was a subvert thing rather than an overt.
Mm.
You expect to see the KKK, whatnot. There's been a lot of work done since I was a kid to make these things more known,
Right.
to expose, the subtleties of it. It's like walking on eggshells now. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. Well,
you
it's
know,
it's it's definitely it's listen. Society. I came home in 2020. All right. I walked home into the pandemic right before the pandemic started, and it has been it's been a journey. It's you know the Kanye West meme when he's like, "You got me." Surprise or whatever he says. That's what I feel like life is doing to like all of us, right? Like there's
yeah.
so many different things and tragedy in Minnesota. I'm not gonna get into that, man, but a tragedy in Minnesota, a lot of things going on with just a whole bunch of anxiety in society and uncertainties and inflation and all that. I want to ask you, I want to shift for a second, man. Um, you came home from prison after 16 years. You may have been in a better shape than I was. How were you mentally? How is the process or was the process of re-entering into society? Can you explain that to somebody who may not understand what that's like?
um, man, to kind of like to widen the frame of reference for people. Think about living in your own childhood home uh till you're about 20, 22, 23, and you go to an entirely different country. You go to a third world country. They strip you out your home, you go to a third world country, and you have to stay there for 16 years. Uh and they say, well, you know, you came You've been here, you did your thing, somehow you make it back home, uh, to your childhood home. Matter of fact, your family's displaced from there. You don't get back to your childhood home, you're on the block somewhere by it. Now, I think if we look through it, if we look at it through that lens, we're able to grasp a sense of, you know, it's like institutionalization. They always compare it to uh, either being on a deserted island, restrained, restricted from like, you know, deprived from like social, like basic social interactions, you know. Uh, but imagine coming back home and everything you learned, you kind of unlearned your language, you know. Now you speak with an accent now. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? You've been walking without shoes. And it's funny. You've been walking without shoes for such a long time that, you know, putting shoes on just it's foreign to you
I
now.
just said it. I just said it. Putting on clothes. I said I went to put my hands in my jeans, and the first time I put those street clothes on, and the pockets were in a different place than the state jeans, and it threw me off. It was crazy. I'm trying to tell you.
Hey, look, that stuff is real, especially hyper awareness, being hyper aware. I'm at the Chipotle's and
Yeah.
I'm just my head's on a
Yeah.
swivel.
Oh yeah.
Now
Yeah.
I can't say that that's not something I was exposed to a lot of things in them streets,
Hmm.
and I can't say that my head was not already getting in direction. But being in that close, tight concentration like that,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, incarceration, man, was tough.
Yeah.
Incarceration was tough, and despite all the spiritual and mental work I put in, like I was an avid meditator.
Okay.
Like, you know, in the jail, I was 19, and you know, I always shout this book out. Uh, but We're All Doing Time by Bo Lozoff
I
is a
remember.
book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
came in contact
That's
with.
one of those books. That's one of those books in the system. At least in VA. I
Yeah,
can definitely. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
yeah. That book right there was like it was life changing for me because
Word.
I mean I was always a fan of like I mean I was born in 1988. Who wasn't a fan of like martial arts, karate, and stuff at that time? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Uh, and I was I was always drawn to what was meditation, what was the practice about, what are they doing? You know,
Hmm.
it had like that Eastern swag, you know, always kind of like drew my attention. So when I found that book and it gave me some methods to man, I can't say it's anything short of unlocking my mind or freeing myself from the predisposal the predisposal, you know, that we all kind of we condition ourselves uh up until a certain point till you realize that that's what's happening. Like I've undergone conditioning up until this point, you
Yeah.
know, up until that point we thinking that we're we're in charge when we're actually we've been led the entire time. We've been
Hmm.
coaxed or we've been influenced,
Yeah.
you know.
You have a wake
uh
up moment. If you're
yeah,
fortunate, you have that wake up moment, and you're like, damn, that's
I mean,
crazy.
I'm a firm believer that the journey don't stop here. It's a process of refinement.
Yeah.
Eventually, you will reach that day. You know the way I see it. You know,
Yeah.
and better sooner than later. But you're gonna reach that day. So when you're gonna realize, and hope it's not too late. Hope it's not too late to
Hope
beat,
it's
man.
not too late, man. I know some people that never figured it out, man. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
You
It's
shouldn't have to
anybody.
go to prison to get that self realization.
Yeah, and a
That's what we're
multitude
working
of
on.
other things. You know, prison is one of those places where It's definitely for me. This is what I say. Somebody will say different, that's fine. But just my opinion, I feel like it's designed to destroy you. I don't feel like it's designed to rehabilitate or build you up. I feel like an individual can make the decision in there to rehabilitate himself and build himself up. Um, but man, it's a wicked thing. And I've watched men who were stand up guys, leaders, whatever, got money, whatever, and 2 days later lost their minds and couldn't speak English no more. We're babbling, and it's just a serious thing, man. Serious thing. If you don't have to go, man, don't go. That's what we continue to say. Trying to
Mhm.
tell everybody, man, it's not a game, and when you have an opportunity to get a perspective on it, in a different way without you having to see it up front, that's a good thing, man. Now I want to ask you this: how long have you been home?
Let's see. I've been home less than 2 years. A matter of fact,
Less
I've
than
been
two,
home a year and a half.
year and a half.
Hmm.
Year and a half. What has life looked like in a year and a half
Ooh,
after
for
16
me.
years of confinement?
Well, I only can describe it as family, man. It's been family every day, and it's
That's
beautiful.
that's
Nothing
the
like it.
formula. Hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, while incarcerated, man, family became a priority. You know what I mean? It had divine interpretation to me. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Legacy became something like, that's one of those things that tweaked in my soul when I got that revelation, is that family is something divine. Well, it, and I don't want to restrict it to blood per se. And
Hmm.
I think it would be better defined as community, and
Hmm.
as it continues to branch out. I believe in universal love. Even I love my enemies.
Yeah.
Because for real, my enemies kind of they add to my identity. I've always been one who I don't shy away from competition. You know, for most things, especially for the
Yeah.
righteous thing. I always thought I was a righteous person. I'm a self-righteous person. That's one of my flaws, I think, because
Mm.
when Q right, he right. That's how I be feeling.
Yeah.
For better or worse, that's how I be operating, man.
At least you
But
see it.
absolutely, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm like, look, pardon me, because I'm a self-righteous person. So
Hmm.
if we get to debating, or debating is the word. People
Mm.
like to separate arguing, and I understand the difference. You know what I mean? I
Right.
understand the
Right. Right.
difference
Right.
in most cases. Yeah, but if we ever get into a heated discussion, pardon me, because I'm self-righteous.
Right.
Anything else, I'd probably just give to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you ain't defying all logic, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then But
I get it.
uh,
I get it. It took me 40 years to learn how to be wrong, and that's when I started to get things right. It's crazy. 40
I would
years. I'm
say
42 now.
to me 30,
Yeah.
30, maybe 34.
I was like you, bro. I'll argue out, man. I'll argue, man. What? You see, I was just in the house. What was it? 2 to 3 days ago. I was arguing about my wife and everybody. I almost fell back in that mode again, and I was like, okay, no, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
One of
What
my
about
flaws, I
what
love to
is?
argue with debater.
Yeah, 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 for
I'm a
sure.
great debater.
I want to ask
Yeah.
you because I know a little bit about some of the work that you do, and I think it's important to highlight that when individuals come home from prison, and I got to shout out VA always. I feel like VA goes harder than the rest of the states, respectfully, when it comes to advocacy. Not that it's a competition, but that VA does well when it comes to setting the bar. I
Mm-hmm.
really wholeheartedly believe that. It's something different. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of us that are tied to VA advocacy, Virginia advocacy, and got organizations, all that. We were the same people on the inside. That's what's so crazy. Like we were all big dogs or whatever you want to call us, or who I don't know what
Yeah.
in there, and we just we
Mm-hmm.
we we brought the leadership out here. We and kept on going. But um, you're doing some work when it comes to advocacy. You're trying to help some people. You are helping some people. You're making an impact. Can you shine a light on that, man?
Uh, I think your audio went out too. Say
Uh-oh.
something. Can you hear me? I,
I can definitely
oh,
hear you.
say something. Oh, I can
Something?
hear you now. Uh, yeah, a little technical stuff.
Mhm.
Well, like you said, I think something you hit on is a lot of the leaders on the inside like to come home and exhibit some of that leadership out here, which is beautiful to me. Solid symbols of redemption. Uh,
Mhm.
and and no matter how many, we don't have enough. We don't have enough.
Yeah, I agree.
Uh, and and there's always more space for unity in any
Yep.
situation. I've been amongst. I've been like I like to tell people. I don't think there's ever been a day I ain't been a part of organizing. Uh,
Mhm.
my grandmother was an evangelist, and her methods of getting people coming to church was we was knocking. We were
She was an
Southern
organizer
Baptist
for
household.
real.
Yeah, well, we was raised Southern, and but we was at your door, stereotypically like Joe witnesses. We coming to get you. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, knock on that
Yeah,
door
we
for
showing
sure,
up
yeah.
and they like, yeah, come on out to our church. It's
Assertive.
around the corner.
Right.
You know,
"Don't you love the Lord? Come
yeah,
on."
man. But
What
for
so
real, yeah. Well, I was trying to answer your question.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Um, yeah. So you know, my advocacy work started, halfway into my incarceration, like halfway.
Mhm.
Um, 2016, uh, the year that changed everything for everyone. 2016, uh, we on the inside, the intellectual community, which there's some really good brothers on the inside who's doing this work right now. The only
Absolutely.
thing is they are not getting notoriety, and that was has
Wanna
been
shout them out real quick, man? Shout out some of them good brothers.
look out in the system. My homies, I was with, and we were designing programs, getting guys to come out to the gym, constructing fun days. We pulled some stuff off.
Mhm.
We had guys in prison like earning PlayStation time and stuff, and that wasn't even a thing.
Mhm.
But Lord Serious, aka James
Yeah, shout
Balkman,
out Sirius, yep.
uh, Jefferson Ely,
My
aka
brother.
poetic. These are my guys, man. There are so many. I I really started formulating my advocacy around, you know, 2016. Other than that, I was just in a bunch of group, putting my head together to, I would say, do stupid things, just stupid. I can't really come up with. They were just unenlightened. They were unenlightened. Um, there's a difference between survivalism. Miyamoto Musashi, one of the greatest samurais of all time, is probably a familiar name.
Mhm.
He put together the Book of the Five Rings,
Yep.
something we read and something we read
One of the
inside if you get
books,
your
one of the
hands
books,
on it.
yep.
Yeah, if you
Mhm.
get your hands on it. But he said there are two struggles, two universal struggles: the struggle to survive and the struggle for excellence. You must first overcome one to head on to the other. So that's to say that I believe that the youngins, a lot of youngins, which I was one, obviously, uh, we're in the streets and our ambitions outweigh our means most of the time, and we're forced. Our situations, it coaxes to you know unhealthy, antisocial ways for real of surviving. Uh, I think it's a adverse symptom of capitalism, such, social classes. We all know the lingo, we all know the terms. Um, but once you learn that survival once you learn how to overcome survival, which I think is actually a mindset, where you start understanding that your your means to survive or your environment, you just lose a lot of that hostile sensitivity, that a lot of that aggression. It's it's it's. I'm sorry, I'll be using wild words all the time. I'll be trying to dumb
I
my
ain't heard
words.
you. I ain't heard
Yeah,
you use one
but
yet.
yeah, I mean, even talking to dudes on the block, dudes on the yard. I've always had to be like, dut, dut,
No, you
dut.
don't have to do that over here, brother. 4.0
Hey,
GPA, man. We executive directors and build schools over here.
y'all better than me. I ain't got a college education, but
Yeah, I open
no, I'm
schools
joking.
down here. Use the words, man. Use the vocabulary.
Like
Let me
for
ask you this,
sure.
man, because
Yeah,
30 went by quick, man.
yeah. I'm just
Before
talking.
we go, let people know about your organization or any work that you're working on that you want to shed some light on, man. Especially what you were talking about with VA before we hopped on.
All right, 2016. Me and my homeboys, we got together, think tank, and I came up with an organization. At first, it was called Orange Lives Matter. Then we realized that the Denver Broncos, of all people, trademarked Orange Lives Matter because that was what was going on at the time. People were trying to state that their demographic mattered.
Mm.
Um, but we renamed it. Came behind bars, and it was simply to showcase was intellectual talents of incarcerated people. Um, flash uh, flash forward to 2020, uh, we're able to construct brilliancebehindbars.com, where we're able to get these voices of the incarcerated via electronic mail, via written. We were doing a lot of written pieces then because that's what we had. Um,
Mm-hmm.
get a lot of the content gathered, and we were able to publish it on brilliancebehindbars.com, which is still running now. Um, and we're about to do our annual update for the next year. Uh, we got some good things coming. A lot of good. Since let me stop. There's a lot of things going on with Brilliance, but since my release in 2024, I've been seeking to expand the operations of Brilliance by forming intricate partnerships with different organizations and most of we're really trying to target uh, private educational institutions. Like we've been
Right.
building with contacts in VCU, their humanity lab. Shout out to Liz Canfield, um, and trying to build a pipeline from prison to professionalism. You know, then then Brilliance was focused on advocating for education, which is still our primary goal.
Mm-hmm.
But now we've also um, we've also been able to identify the intricate part of incarceration to reentry, to stabilization. And it's the firm belief of our organization that the incarcerated should not be restricted uh, economically or socially. We believe that the sentence that they got is the only sentence they should serve. So what we're doing now is uh, not only showcasing incarcerated talent, which our next major event we're partners immunization project. Shout out
Mm-hmm.
to them and VCU for the Ripple Effects Calls Tidal Waves event coming in April,
I will
uh,
be there.
where we're going to be. You're going to be there.
I will be speaking. I will be a part of the event. Spoiler alert.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. I ain't seen you since. Community Engagement Day for the
Yeah.
ACLU VA.
Yep.
You're
Yep.
out
Yep. I'll
there
be
with
out there. I'll be there
yeah,
in Christopher Newport University that week.
yeah. I was a
Got some
panelist. I was a panelist for that event at Christopher Newport last year when I was still
nice,
fresh out.
nice.
Um,
I'm looking forward to it, man. I've never been.
yeah,
Never been.
I'm trying to think beyond my limits and trying to get incarcerated people real time interaction with their audience while they show arts. Um,
You can do it.
I that's my ideal goal. I'm still trying to work the kinks out. If you ever try to deal with the prison systems and trying to shine a light on the prisoners, there's some stuff you got to get through. Virginia has been a little more pliable now with the Virginia model, however that is, but they've came up with the brilliant idea, which I kind of think that they took out of the penitentiary, is that you need to put solid forms, solid symbols of redemption in front of incarcerated people. So uh, I like I still say we. I still say we, man. They're just the ones still confined. And they're still my people, they're still my community. Um the but you have to put solid forms of redemption in front of incarcerated people so they can know exactly how limitless things are out here in the world for them.
I
They had me
agree.
in a press conference. Yeah, they had me in a press conference tonight, man. And I advocate for hope. Give the guys hope. Give the guys and girls hope. You know what I'm saying? You
I was just
you
I was
yeah.
about to ask you. I guess that could be. I wanted you to give me a final message because the time is we over. We don't been. I didn't know we already 40 minutes in, man. I'm sitting here. We going in. We gonna have to have you for part two. But can you give us a message about hope, or can you give a message as we bring this to a close, man? A message of hope to anybody that's impacted by incarceration, because that's what I was gonna ask, anyways.
My message is that your life is your own. And no matter where you are, there's a potential for freedom. No matter where you are, there's a potential for freedom. Never give up. I don't care what it looks like. Never give up. A lot of my friends, I'm walking around with them now. I'm in the bars with them. We're chopping it up. A lot of my friends didn't have that opportunity in front of them.
Hmm.
They had 230 something years, 260 something years. They, you know, ooh, I think I'm getting a call now from the being, but I'm I definitely told him to call me back. Always call me 3 times, uh, and then call me 45 minutes. Give me a
Right.
chance to get clear. But yeah, never put that cap on yourself. Never put that governor on yourself. Let it rip. Let it rip, man. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is,
For
man.
what it's worth, every second we all doing time. You know what I'm saying? We all doing time, man. Don't give that up. Don't give up what's yours. That's the only thing that's yours.
That's
So,
it.
maintain that freedom, maintain that strength, man. Never give up hope and let it rip. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Glad to have you up here, man. And thank you for being an example, because people do need to see an example for sure, man. Always a privilege and an honor, definitely to highlight my VA brethren and my sisters out there, man, the whole family. Again, shout out to all the advocates, everybody that's working hard all across the country, being a voice for their loved ones. Q, thank you for your work. Make sure you guys check out Brilliance Behind Bars. Check out the amazing things that they're doing when it comes to helping system impacted people, and get behind them, man. So until next time, we appreciate you, Q. Thank you, man. I appreciate